All right, welcome back to the Bet Big Talk Loud podcast for Good Friday, April 3rd, 2026. Sponsored by GirlsThatGamble.live and TakingVegas.com. I'm Chris Hodge. We are very happy to have JR back. A little under the weather last week, JR.
Oh, under the weather. I didn't even know where I was. I mean, we literally did the radio show. We got done. I was like, do we have to do radio?
Yeah, you were good last week.
Man, I was out of it. So I just don't get sick often. So when I do, it's like a punch in the face, man.
My wife will tell you when I get sick, I act like the biggest baby ever.
Oh, my wife would tell you straight out, I'm like a 12-year-old. I'm like, can you get me some soup?
Oh, we got a great show planned. Former boxing world champion Chris Algieri will be joining the show in a couple minutes. Very excited for that interview. Obviously, we got the Final Four tomorrow, so we're going to break that down, give out some free picks. Your hockey is just insane. You got another free pick. Hopefully, people see it on Friday night because you're giving out a free pick for Friday night. But before we get to the podcast, I always start with a question.
Okay.
All right? Bro, these people drive me up a wall. And I don't know where you are with this. And again, I don't know if I'm in the minority with this, right? You go out to eat dinner with your wife.
Okay.
You sit at a square table.
Sure.
The people that sit next to each other
Oh, God.
drive me up. You're not one of these guys, are you?
God, no. I tell my wife, go over there.
Right.
She's like, why? We're being intimate.
No.
I'm like, I'm with you 30 years. I don't need to sit next to you. We just did this, actually. It's so funny you bring that up. When I was in Vegas, I stayed at the Aria. There's a great restaurant there called The Catch, seafood place, right? So they put us at a table like you're talking about, but the chairs were kind of wide. So she came and tried to sit next to me. I'm like, what are you doing?
No.
She's like, what do you mean, what am I doing? I'm like, what are you doing? She goes, well, we're out to dinner together. We've had 100,000 meals together. There's no reason. I want to look at you. So I use the excuse of I'd rather look at you than have to turn.
See, you do it. You say the nice thing. I say I want to look at your tits. That's what I say. I want to look right at you.
At least you're being truthful, though.
Well, yeah, and it's frustrating for me because I love going out with my wife when it's just me and my wife, right? Because she shows a little skin. I like that. When we go out with the damn kids, man, she covers up in a sweatshirt like this. You're not looking at anything.
So you weren't like me as a kid. My mother used to try to. My mother loved to dress sexy for my father. What are you doing? You're a mom. Cover that up. I'm not going out with you like that. What are you, out of your mind? So, yeah, I can respect your wife for doing that.
Yeah, man. I love going out to eat dinner with my wife, just me and her. But I'm looking over. It's every freaking time I'm out to eat. I'm like, why are you sitting next to that person? Like, it doesn't make sense. Sit across like a normal person.
Listen, if you're on like a date or something like that, maybe, you're trying to get in her pants or whatever, so start rubbing her leg a little during the meal.
I'm always sitting across, bro.
I wouldn't even know what to do on a date. It's been 30 years. I'd be out there like, ah.
All right, man, let's do a podcast. So now, this is sport wife related. You know I always speak very highly of my wife, as you do for yours, right?
Always.
Boy, I tell you, man, last Friday, my wife pulled a divorceable offense.
Ooh.
She pulled a divorceable bitch offense.
Ooh.
This was really unbelievable what she pulled. So, I remember I told you last week that St. John's playing Duke Friday night. Now,
Yes.
I'm in Washington, D.C. with my football team.
Yes.
The regional final is on Sunday. So, I tell my wife, if St. John's wins on Friday night, we're going to hang around in D.C. We're going to go to the regional final game on Sunday, which is a nice date, right? Like, now, I went to St. John's, right? Like,
Sure.
I want to see my school go to the Final Four if possible, right? As soon as I tell my wife that, she begins to shoot down the idea, right? She's not happy with the idea. I don't want to go. I don't want to stay in D.C. All of these little nonsensical things. And, you put your foot down as a man. You're like, if St. John's wins, we're going. I don't want to hear anything of it. Great, right? We're at the bar Friday night. St. John's is playing Duke. Now, I'm with my whole team, okay? We're all sitting up against the bar. We're watching the game. It's not going St. John's way. They're about to lose. There's 5 seconds left. They're about to lose. My wife is about 30 feet behind us at a table all by herself. I'm leaning up on the bar. I'm like, man, put my head down, shake it. I look back at my wife. She's clapping, smiling like a seal.
I love it.
Smiling, laughing.
Oh,
I'm like,
go
you
D.
bitch. No, go D. Fuck D. Are you out of your mind?
Oh, my goodness. You got points with me, D. That's a good one.
Blatantly rooting against him.
He would have done the same thing.
No,
Make no mistake. If he didn't want to go with the wife and she put her foot down, he'd be over there cheering for the other team. Make no mistake.
Not outwardly.
I am
secretly,
certain he would do it right out in the open, not giving two shits.
These women have balls, man. Like I tell you, maybe I would have done that.
I know you would have.
I would have done it secretively though. My wife just out in the open, clapping, smiling.
In front of everyone. I love it. Oh, God. And she's sitting over there alone. So the poor girl's all alone, watching a game, knowing that you want... Yeah.
Okay, so
you go, D.
Now, you do know me well.
I do.
Because I'm going to really... and if there's parents out there of kids in travel sports, do not lie. You motherfuckers have done this. Okay? There have been games when I was at a travel tournament with my son who played hockey. Why I was rooting against them.
Because you don't want to stay.
I want to get the hell out of
here. I want to go home.
I had enough of these people, these hockey parents that I can't stand. Okay? I had enough of this nonsense. Please lose
Are
this
you
game.
shitting me? I've been on teams where I want to lose. When I was on baseball, younger, MVP team, whatever it was travel team. And I remember it was fucking brutally cold out, man. Just cold. And baseball is not a game you get to move around a lot. So you're feeling it. Your nipples are hard. You're just like, God, this sucks. And you're down 3-0. I got up there and I whiffed. I'm like, I'm not even trying. I don't want to play no more. I want to go home. So I'm going to get hit with the emails. Oh, you're a non-competitor. No, I'm fucking smart. That's what I am.
I was sitting in the stands. I was one of those parents that always sat by myself because I couldn't stand the parents, right? The parents are just a bunch of assholes.
They're assholes,
them, right?
I agree.
But I'd be sitting there and I'd be texting my wife, man, I sure hope they lose this game. I want to go home. I want to get out of here.
I definitely wouldn't have put it on record.
I had enough of this trip, man. Let me get the hell out of here. And people who are in travel sports, don't even tell me you haven't done that where you root against your team, your kid's team. Like, get the hell out of here. I do have to mention a restaurant. You mentioned a restaurant at Aria.
Oh, yeah. Great.
I have to mention a restaurant from D.C., El Presidente. Holy smokes. Mexican. When I tell you, now, my wife and I, we love Mexican food, right?
Okay.
We go to El Presidente. To me, the best Mexican restaurant I have ever been in.
The President.
El Presidente. Yes. Awesome. The nachos, the best ever. Like, you never, they come out like on a pizza platter, the nachos. They were insane. All the food there was insane. Our waitress was a lady by the name of Ange, who was great. I'm getting a drink called Put Me In Coach. That's the drink I'm
getting.
Put
Me In Coach.
I don't know what was in it. I just like
the
name of it, right? Because I coached earlier that day, and we won.
Sounds like coconut.
And we won.
Was it coconutty?
I don't know. I got messed up.
You don't even know.
No, I was barely walk back to the hotel. Oh boy, I was in rare form.
So are we going to get a check now from El Presidente this week on an endorsement deal?
I'm doing this on the arm, man. El Presidente, I'll send this clip over to them, man. You guys, that is the greatest Mexican restaurant I have ever been in. You guys did a great job, and Ange, who was our waitress, she did an awesome job as well. So if you're ever in the D.C. area, go check out El Presidente. You will not be disappointed if you love Mexican food. And coaching that game before, obviously, we go out to eat dinner. You and I have been talking about referees all season long.
Oh, yeah. It's been just horrific. I mean, how many times are we going to say it? I mean, sports betting goes legal and reffing just goes in the fucking dumpster. Come on, man. So you're just not going to get me on it.
Every frigging game, man. Every game that I coach, I get into a nonsensical argument with these referees. Every single game.
See, now, on your level, they're not doing anything to favor one team or another.
Well, there is no point spread on our level.
That's what I'm saying.
But you still want, like, not stupid. I'm going to take you through it. I'm going to tell you what happened. You know nothing about it. This is the first time you're hearing this. You know nothing about this. We win the game 33-12, but we played.
And we're down 12-0.
We're down 12-0, playing the worst first half in the history of first halves, right? So it gets under the 2-minute warning. The next play starts at 1:54. The clock is running at 1:54, but they don't run a play. They take an intentional delay of game, which is fine. They're trying to get to the locker room up 12-0. No problem. I have one timeout left. Clock runs down to 1:14. No problem. Delay a game. I say next time they run a play, I'm going to call a timeout. Look up at the clock. Clock starts running again. I go, whoa, wait, hold on. Get the referee on my sideline. Whoa, what's going on here? Blow the whistle. Go out. The head referee comes over and talks to me. He goes, yes, they took a delay of game, but if you don't call a timeout here, they're allowed to run another 25 seconds off the play clock, which has never been the rule.
Never.
On any level.
Absolutely not.
Here's what the guy said. Now, I argued with this guy this was a good argument, right? I argued with this, and the guy says to me, I am a college football official. I know the rules, you don't. That's what he says to me. I go, what the fuck does that mean? I watch more college football than anyone you know, and all you guys do is fuck up games.
Every game.
Every single game.
So this was a legit college football
This was a legit
official.
college football official. Did not know the rule on the 2-minute warning.
Are you shitting me?
Tells me that to stop the clock from running again. So I go, first of all.
In your type of league, is it possibly different?
No, you're supposed to know what you're doing. Right? It's semi-pro, right?
That's what I'm saying. So is it?
No. So I go, so you're telling me, so anyone out there who knows football, refs football, anything about football, watch football, right? 2-minute warning comes, they take a 40-second delay a game. So if you're winning a game or you want to why wouldn't you just continue taking 40-second delay games?
Keep taking
Just keep taking them. And I'm trying to explain this to this guy who, by the way, that referee wasn't a bad dude. He was a nice guy. But he got the rule completely wrong.
And still thought he was right. And let them do it.
Yeah.
Why didn't they just do it again?
So now what happens is I have to take a timeout there in order to stop them from doing it again.
That's absurd.
I go, this has never happened since the days of the dinosaurs, when the dinosaurs was roaming around kicking rocks. And I'm like, this has never happened ever.
Kicking rocks. I like it.
Right, doing whatever, wagging their tails, doing whatever the fuck whatever sport the dinosaurs created. This shit had never happened ever. Ever.
That's really bad.
And I'm trying to tell them, or if it was before the 2-minute warning.
I don't think I would have stopped arguing. I would have literally just looked at him and say, I mean, common sense at some point in the next 30 seconds has got to set in. So, I mean, seriously, think about what you're saying.
So I finally
they could run the clock out.
Okay, I finally say, all right, give me the timeout.
Fuck off.
This was after minutes and minutes of arguing, right? I turned around. My defensive coordinator is a great guy. He goes, you had to do what? And I'm trying to explain it to him. And he's like, nah, that's wrong. I'm like, I know it's wrong. You know it's wrong. The guy that matters thinks it's right. So I had to call a timeout.
And you couldn't pull one of the other refs over? Nothing.
So this is another funny thing that happens when you're on the sidelines. Now, everyone that's watching this podcast, you included, or everyone who watches football, you guys think this, right? Ever see a flag get called and you're watching on TV and you have a general idea of what the flag is?
Sure.
And then you watch them congregate and you watch all the officials get together?
Sure.
And what you're saying when you're watching on TV is, what the fuck are those guys talking about?
Well, they're talking about the different angles, who saw what.
Okay, I could assure you, it's a stupid conversation. This is what got said on that field because I heard it as I was walking away. One of the referees goes, hey, I think he's right. I think he knows that rule. Guy goes, we can't change it now. And as I was walking away, the dumbest conversations, when those 6 referees get together, 7, I can assure you they're not saying anything educated.
Can't change it.
It was ridiculous.
What was it, like a play later?
No.
So then they can change it.
Absolutely. It was that bad and that's
like, don't they want to get it right? This is the reason technology is being brought into sports, because of them playing just being freaking wrong constantly, and then they don't want to admit it. Their ego is bigger than the call.
So,
and that's absurd.
I can't mention the team, all right? And I can't say exactly what I said. This was last year. But, and this got caught on a hot mic. So I had some issues with this, right? How can I say this without really offending everyone? All right, so the gist of it is another bullshit call goes against us. And I get the head ref over to me. And I go, every fucking year we play this particular team, I get up every friggin' year. And the guy looks at me and goes, that's pretty funny. That's what he said to me. I go, every fucking year you guys show up, you screw this game up, you make every bad call known to man, and I got to deal with it. And the part of the bad cursing and nonsense that I said, what do you know? That got caught on camera.
So, so what though?
Yeah.
I mean, you're just.
It wasn't good what I said. Like for me to admit that it wasn't good what I said.
Was it basically what you just said?
Yeah,
you guys shove it up our ass every year?
Yeah, I said it in a little bit of a worse way.
Okay.
Yeah, I said it in a little bit of a worse way.
I mean, it's not like it's a little league game. It's
No,
grown
but,
ass men.
You got to be careful of the times.
Oh, stop. You got to be careful at times. That's where that foot goes down. No way, man. I'm not changing who I am to make everyone else happy.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you got to be careful of that little yellow flag these fucks like to throw and give you 15 yards for
I'll take it.
no reason
In that
at all.
situation, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Give it a minute.
Anyway, talking about refs and umpires that completely suck at their jobs, that brings us to one CB Buckner. CB, man, holy shit. Now, look. MLB umpires over the first 7 days of the season missed 850 calls.
It's unreal.
Okay. Now you've been in their defense a little because you said sometimes they miss by a fraction.
And I like that, and I don't like what they're doing to the game where it's just going to be a set strike zone.
I do.
Period. I don't like it. I think
Well, it's not going to be a set strike zone. It's
Sure
going to
it
be a
is.
strike zone based on a player. Like the height and the height
I understand
of the player.
that, but that's it. That box goes there, and that's that. I like that different umpires. You had to actually strategize on who was calling the game. And different umpires had a bigger strike zone. And the one thing I always wanted was consistency. If you had a short strike zone, stay consistent with it. Call it on both sides. There were some games where I'd see it a little bit different for different pitchers, and I'd be like, I don't like what I'm seeing. So in that case, it makes it better. But I don't like what they're doing. I think that... And it's just making the umpires look like complete shit.
Well, do your fucking job better.
But that's their job was to create that strike zone, right?
But
it wasn't a set here, that's it. It should be based on a little bit of the human eye.
I have been very consistent in my theory on this. You have as well, okay? I agree with everything you just said, everything, until gambling is brought into it. And now that there's so much gambling going on,
We're just talking balls and strikes, though.
that is monstrous.
But it's
Get it right. If you're gonna have an ad from these sports books on the damn television every friggin' half inning, get these calls right. You 850 calls? 850?
I didn't know it was that high.
850.
850.
Do 7 games. 850.
850.
That is an insane. And CB Buckner,
That's insane.
Is becoming a meme. This guy can't get anything right now. He got hit in the head off a foul tip, so we don't want. You never wish injury. You want to see the guy okay. But let me tell you something. I've said this numerous times. The agent for Kirk Cousins deserves an all-time award,
Oh, no doubt.
and whoever runs the Major League Baseball Umpires Union should represent every union
Every union.
in the history of the world.
It's unreal.
Whoever, and I don't know who that guy is, but whoever that guy is, the fact that you got them whatever union numbers, money they got based on screwing everything up,
It's amazing.
I mean, you've done a great job.
I will also defend him, too, because my father was a 30-year
We had this discussion.
New York Baseball
Okay,
umpire
but he wasn't
association.
an MLB umpire,
No.
so he doesn't suck. I've said that to you. Okay, I've said that.
But it just I grew up in a house where no matter what the call, he always took the umpire side.
Okay, how much money did he actually make?
Zero.
Okay.
Oh, you mean as far as umpiring?
Yeah.
Yeah, he made money umpiring.
Okay, but he didn't make what these guys are making.
No, man,
Right?
he made an extra $6,000 over
Okay.
the winter or summer, whatever
There's
it
gotta
was.
be some sort of like when you're making X amount of dollars, at least be good at your job.
He was doing it because he loved doing it.
And that's why I have no
Wasn't the
problem
money?
with any umpire
Just
like that.
loved doing it.
I have, if you got an umpire.
I used to look at him and say, "What are you doing? You sitting out here for 4 hours for $125?
Okay.
What are you doing?"
I have no problem with that guy.
I just
None.
loved it.
Okay, great. When you're making hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of dollars and there's gambling, money being risked all over, and there's 45,000 people that pay to show up to watch you fuck something up,
How come the referees in the NFL still make like nothing?
they're a whole other issue.
What
Because
is
they got-
going on
they-
there?
Now, listen, as bad as those guys are, right?
We've
They-
talked
they
about
don't
it.
have
They
a
should go to
CBA deal right now.
and they should be going to continued ed. It should be their job. I don't want a lawyer who practices 85 hours a week and as a side gig wakes up a little early on a Sunday to go call a game. That's not. This is the National Football League. It's worth billions.
Who said it? What receiver said? I think it was Puka who said it. He's going through a couple
Oh, my
issues
God,
right
he's
now.
going through some
yeah,
shit
he's
right
going through some
now.
issues right now, so we'll get onto that. But I think he's the one who said it. These guys just want to be on TV. I think he's the one that said it.
You see my muscle as I go like this? I mean, it's like
Officiating is a problem. I mean,
70-year-olds on roids. It's unreal.
officiating, MLB umpiring, CB Buckner right now is a problem. This guy went to the Angel Hernandez School of Umpiring.
It's unreal. How bad was he?
Well,
my
Angel
God.
Hernandez was umpiring right now. Everyday occurrence. But no, listen,
Maybe we should make a website. Let's grade them.
No, someone else got to be doing it. I don't
No
got
one's
the time
doing
to do
that.
this bullshit, man. This
Grade
is
them.
nonsense.
All the referees in the NFL, and we can't do colleges, too many.
They got it.
NFL, Major League Baseball, you put that out there?
No, that's got to be. First of all, we'll get sued. Number one, you guys suck at your jobs. No, but
everyone got an F minus.
I'm telling you, man. These umpires, these officials, you know, like we get upset when we lose a game that we worked hard on and we predicted the outcome of an event, and we were wrong.
Yes,
we get upset.
I get pissed.
Right, like we take
31
this
years.
very
I
seriously.
still get
like
pissed.
we want to win every game, even though we know that's not possible. Even though we tell our customers that's not possible.
Even after that sick run in hockey, right? It cooled off a little bit.
Well,
right?
how could it? It has to go that way.
It wasn't even that bad. It was. It just. But there was a few in a row.
Yeah.
I had clients texting me like to try to bring me up, like, "Hey, don't let it get you down," because they know when I lose not just what I put into it, but for all my clients. So I feel that, right? So you accuse me of being nice all the time. That's part of it, right? Like
that's an accusation.
Well,
that's a fucking compliment. What the? Hey, man, hey. Have I said anyone? He accused me of being nice.
You're the nice guy. He tells me all the time, I'm the
producer.
nice guy. I feel when shit, you know what I mean? I'm not this ice cold guy. It's just like, fuck it, we lost the game. No,
I'm not that guy either. But
I feel it. It's real.
I'm not giving you compliments no more, man. If you're accused of giving me a compliment,
I don't ever get them anyway.
What do you mean? I tell you all the time you're a nice guy. Say it on the damn podcast. I said, hey, yo, the people that are watching, and I said we got some sponsors that are looking at us now, and they literally say this. They literally say, hey, man, that guy JR, you got on a pot. What a nice guy. That guy seems like a nice dude. And then there's you, Chris.
And then there's you.
Like, what the hell, man?
But you are a nice guy.
I am a nice guy, but I have no time for bullshit.
You say some dumb shit sometimes,
No,
but you're a really nice guy.
Nonsense.
Sometimes you and I will get into that sometimes where I'm like, no. Like it was our first show or whatever, killing a dog over the human. No, that does not just make me a nice guy.
Okay, now
makes me normal.
I'm good.
Right?
Oh, it does.
Normal.
Oh, it does.
Yes.
Okay, great. So when we did that, would you rather shoot your best friend or your dog?
I don't care what the fucking psychos out there sent you.
More than 50%.
That's
I'll shoot the best friend.
All right. So is the normal person gonna comment, or is the psycho gonna comment?
I'm just saying.
Yeah, you know the answer to that.
No, I've said it before.
The
and I'll say it
psychos
again.
are going to say, I would definitely kill my best friend before I shoot my own dog. Bullshit. I will say bullshit to all of you 100,000 times
Great,
over
you can say
again.
It to me. My best friend knows it's the truth.
It's not the truth.
I would never.
You're not putting a bullet in your. No less someone you know. Forget about it. Could be a stranger.
Let me ask you a question.
When it came down to it,
am I allowed to?
You
do
are
it?
not pulling that trigger on that human.
There has to be some logistics here. Am I allowed to do it? Meaning, if I shot my best friend, now I got to go do 20 in jail, right?
No. All right. So what's that movie where you're allowed purge?
Purge?
Right?
I'm allowed to shoot him.
You're allowed.
So long, Rob. Have a nice day.
Bullshit.
No, so long, and he knows it too.
I'm calling shenanigans.
Nah, he knows it.
No way.
So long, buddy.
Nah.
It's nice knowing you.
That's facade. Bullshit.
He don't even really want to live anyway. He always tells
because
you.
if you put the gun in your hands and said kill JR
or the dog,
not happening. I'll look right at it.
For
not
everyone
happening.
that's not watching on YouTube and they're just listening on some platform, I waved at him. And I'll deal with your kids and your wife later.
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it.
Let's get to the Final Four. Hey, again, we got former boxing world champion Chris Algieri. He'll be on in just a few minutes. Oh, man, that's going to be a great interview. I can't wait to speak to him. I mean, in my opinion, there's no one more knowledgeable about the sport of boxing than this guy. So he's going to really get into it, and we're excited to have him. We're very lucky to have him. Let's just go over the Final Four real quick. First game, Illinois, UConn. Second game, Michigan, Arizona. So Michigan, Arizona, both number 1 seeds. Illinois 3, UConn 2.
No real big surprise there, other than maybe Illinois. But even that, I'm not going to call
I
it
don't think
big
that's
surprise.
a surprise. No. UConn's not. Everyone's saying UConn was having a down year. No, they weren't. Go look at their schedule. Okay, they didn't try against Marquette to end the year.
No,
St.
I will
John's
say
got
they
them twice.
they've overachieved in the tournament. I mean, slightly.
Absolutely not. I disagree. Absolutely not. They played a ridiculous schedule to start the year.
Didn't they get killed by St. John's?
Yeah, twice. But okay, I mean,
right?
you played 38 games.
I know, but still, I mean, just Not as strong of a UConn team as I've seen.
Okay, but here's
past.
what I will tell you, and this is
I know
no
what you're gonna
disrespect of the four that are left. He is Dan Hurley. That is
no doubt
the best coach of the four that is left. I don't even believe it's close. And no to Lloyd and to May and to Underwood. No disrespect. You guys are all great coaches, doing a great job. You know more about college basketball than I will ever know. All doing a great job. Danny Hurley's the best one. He's probably the best coach in the sport
right now.
It's probably not close either in terms of him, Izzo, a couple other guys. And when you have the best coach,
it's amazing how good UConn has gotten it done at a high level since I've been following college basketball.
St. John sucked before. Who showed up?
Exactly.
Patino.
Yeah.
Now
so true.
They're a perennial, could be a problem.
And we were speaking about that in Vegas. I'm like, because I thought that not that I thought they were going to win, but I thought that they would cover that Duke game. And I'm looking, and they did. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at it, and we were having this discussion amongst some of the other bettors around. I'm like, do you guys not realize that Duke, no matter what, even without Krzyzewski there anymore, they will always be like the Yankees in baseball. There will be a premium on their name. So the real line, I think the line was 6.5 on that game. The real line should have been 3.5. But that's what I would say. But the premium made it 6.5. And we know St. John's because where we are. People around the country don't know who St. John. They haven't been relevant since since all the way back in Carnesecca days. They're not a team that gets there often. So I thought there was a lot of value there, and then they did have the shot at winning that game. They really did. They probably should have won.
Like a seal.
If it wasn't for D, I think they get the W.
That's so bad. She's rooting against the damn team. That's miserable. I think the Illinois-UConn game is a fantastic game. Free pick here before you get to your NHL pick, and we have Chris Algieri come on. Look, the Michigan-Arizona game, to me, whoever wins that game wins the national title. All right, I just think they're the two best teams. Take nothing away from UConn and their tremendous coach, or Wagler for Illinois and their 3-point shooting and their defense and their overall size. They're a problem as well. I just think the winner of the Michigan-Arizona game is going to win the national title. So now the winner of that game is going to be a big favorite on Monday, 6.5 to 7.
Yep.
Right. So to get some value there, I'm going to give you Michigan plus 165 to win the national title. I just think that's some good value. And again, it's tough. Like, we're not going crazy with these games tomorrow. No. We're not going crazy with them. We're giving them out for free.
We are. We offered them on the radio show.
We're not going crazy. Don't go nuts, okay? But if you're looking for some value and you want to get by, because now you got a hedge. If Michigan, wherever they play, whether it be a Big Ten matchup against Illinois, they play UConn, again, they're going to be 6 to 7. So now you can come back, bet the other way, and now you got a 6 or 7 point middle.
Definitely.
All right, so probably a good way to play that. You have been, I don't even want to touch you. You've been so on fire in the NHL. You got a free
I'm melting the ice.
What do you got? Oh, man. Go ahead. Give out your free.
All right, so I was going to give out a game happening tonight, but like you said, probably not a lot of time. By the time this thing drops, just not going to be enough time for people to really get it in. So I'm going to give out a game tomorrow, a matinee game, okay? I used the under in the Ottawa game earlier in the week on yesterday. 0-0 first period. It was 1-1 at the end of 2. Just knew it was going to be easily on. Ottawa, even without the personnel, I mean, tons of injuries, but they're playing great defense. They really control the puck well. They don't allow a lot of shots on net, and they're going to be taking on Minnesota tomorrow, who, by the way, playing great hockey, but also a very defensive team. Especially matinees, for whatever reason, if you watch hockey enough, you notice the early games, they don't get their legs until later in the game. And that's because most teams play at night, right? So they go through their morning skate, and then by the time the game comes around, they're ready for it, and they get to scoring immediately. These early games, it just feels like there are a lot of unders. And this is going to be a big defensive matchup. Okay. So under the 6.5, and it's a big number. 6.5 is a big number on any Ottawa game. So Ottawa, Minnesota, go under 6.5, lock it up. All
right, so you got under Ottawa, Minnesota, NHL
1 o'clock Eastern on Saturday.
Taking a shot with Michigan to win the national title at plus 165. Again, just trying to get some value there. We believe Michigan, Arizona is going to be a great basketball game. Both of these games are going to be great games.
Yeah, I mean,
the lines tell you, look, Illinois minus 1.5.
That line flipped right away too on that Arizona-Michigan game. Yes. Early. Yeah. As soon as it was put out, Arizona was a 1.5 favorite within 48 hours. Michigan, 1.5. Yeah.
Keep it right here. We have former boxing world champion Chris Algieri joining the show. You want to end this right here for us?
Everybody be safe. Have a very happy Easter. And let's go out there and make some money.
Keep it right here for Chris Algieri. All right, back here on the Bet Big Talk Loud podcast. It is my absolute pleasure former WBO junior welterweight world champion Chris Algieri joins the show. Chris, thanks for spending some time on this Good Friday.
Yeah, man, happy to be here, and yeah, it's a good Friday in many ways. Happy that we're here.
Awesome, man. So obviously you're a professional boxer, a former world champion, but something that's really interesting about you, you're also a kickboxer. So I have to ask, right? Which sport is harder?
In terms of technique, it's a good question. It's boxing.
Boxing's harder. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's because there's only two weapons, so you have to master them. And I used to always argue like, kickboxing would be more difficult because there's more weapons to learn, but the talent pool is smaller, so the level of competition is lower. But I don't think that's the case. I think the better you get at boxing, but boxing is the ultimate fight sport. I don't think there's anything else that compares to it. It's the hardest sport, hands down.
Now, compared to the UFC, what do you think boxing? Because that's always been an argument. The UFC guys always saying the UFC guys. Chris, I'm a boxing guy. I rarely watch UFC events unless it's a big one. Mm-hmm. I'll watch boxing matches, man. I'll boxing after dark, whatever. I'll watch it because I think boxing, to me, it's better than UFC, but I'm sure I'll get some people out here to disagree.
No, I mean, there's no question. Boxing's harder, and it's the same. It's the same vein I was talking about with kickboxing. Just because you have more tools and more ways to win doesn't mean it's harder. You have more things to learn doesn't mean it's harder. Because boxing is so fine and nuanced. If you don't practice a sport, if you haven't been involved at high level, you have no clue how good guys can be. There's no level. I mean, I've kickboxed, I've wrestled. I've fought professionally. I've been a world champion in kickboxing and in boxing. I've wrestled at a high level. I never fought MMA, but like I've had tons of high quality MMA guys in gyms with me. I've sparred with tons of high quality MMA guys. There is no comparison. Boxing is the hardest sport that the man has ever created. So there's no question for me.
I love it, man. And getting right into this now, you won your world title at home. You did that at the Barclays Center, Brooklyn, New York. Ruslan Provatnikov, you beat him. You were down twice in that fight. And you came back and you won. But take me through that moment of being able to fight in Brooklyn. You're a New York boy like I am. Winning it in front of your home fans, your family. What's that moment like when they call your name, when you win that split decision and you know you're a world champion? What's that moment like?
Funny little backstory. Say I won it at home. Technically, my home is Long Island, so I fought on Long Island a lot. I fought at the Paramount Theater in Long Island. I fought there 11 times. Sold it out every single time. And then I got this opportunity. So I beat the number 3 fighter in the world. His name was Emmanuel Taylor. We fought at the Paramount Theater. It was on ESPN. It was the first time ESPN was ever on Long Island. And I was supposed to lose. I was the underdog in a fight. I win. I won 9 out of 10 rounds. I boxed beautifully that night. Won, and I beat the number 3 guy in the world. He was in line to fight Ruslan. So I beat him. So all right, I'm in line now, right? That's how it should work, and it did. So they talked to me about fighting Ruslan. And I'm like, yeah, okay, boom. They were going to do it on Long Island. They were going to do it at Nassau Coliseum.
Really?
Really in my home. Then at the last minute, Brett Yormark, who is Russian, was the owner of the Barclays at that time, and he was running it there. He petitioned to have the fight moved from Nassau Coliseum to Brooklyn, to the Barclays Center. And I was like, all right, the fix is in. They don't want me to win. I'm done. I'm done. We had a press conference. In Brooklyn, deep in the Russian area in Brighton Beach. And I'm like, I don't want to go to Brighton Beach. They're like, no, you gotta go. I'm like, come on, man. I'm gonna get sniped over here. But also I'm gonna get sniped on fight night. But regardless, we ended up fighting in Brooklyn. I sold $60,000 in tickets to the Barclays Center. Had that play. It was mine. I took it over. Yes, Ruslan was the star. Yes, Ruslan was the guy. He had the HBO contract. He was the world champion. He was coming to defend his title, and they picked an undefeated guy that they thought they were going to beat. But I pushed the entire show. I sold the show. I sold the tickets. And it was one of I think it's the second highest Boxing After Dark viewed fight ever. We only got beat by Amir Khan versus I forgot who it was, but yeah, number 2 Boxing After Dark, highest viewed fight ever on HBO. So yeah, I mean, it was an amazing night. Obviously, getting the title. You said I got dropped. I got actually both of those were in the first 90 seconds.
Yes,
I got dropped right away. Broke my orbital. Broke my orbital in 3 places. Broke my nose. My eyes shut almost immediately. Pretty much is the worst first round you could ever have in a 12-round fight. My first 12-rounder as a boxer, and I was fighting an absolute monster. He was the boogeyman of the division. Nobody wanted to fight him. He was the baddest guy around. And of course, that's who I have to fight for my title. The Siberian Rocky hits me with a left hook in the first round and just literally broke my skull. I couldn't believe people could hit that hard. And to this day, hardest puncher I've ever fought.
Really?
I fought. Oh yeah, absolutely.
And you fought some big guys, man. I mean, Pacquiao's not a big guy, but he's Manny Pacquiao.
Ruslan hit harder than Pacquiao.
Wow.
I'll tell you that right now. Ruslan, I'm sorry, Pacquiao would agree with you. Pacquiao is smarter than Ruslan. He'll tell you the same thing.
Really?
Ruslan hits like he's different, dude. He's from Siberia. He's been eating moose liver since he was a little kid. He's been running through snow this high since he was little. Still does, by the way. If you follow him on Instagram, it's amazing. The guy still spars. He still trains. Hasn't fought in 10 years or so, but stays in shape. But yeah, it was an amazing night. And had to get off the canvas and swallow a lot of blood, and get the victory that night. It still goes down as one of the greatest nights of my life.
I'm sure. And look, I wasn't at that fight. We have a couple friends that were at that fight. I was watching that on TV, but it just seemed like, I don't know what round it was, like 6th or 7th round. It was like your boxing took over. You were able to go in and out on him, and it was almost like he looked at you and he was like, "What the fuck are you still doing here?" It was almost like he had that feeling like you. I don't know if you'd agree with this or not, because you guys are professionals, but almost like you broke his spirit in terms of, hey, I'm still here.
So in the lead up to the fight, we had a press conference, and he said, "I break my opponents," and I got up there and I said, Ruslan, when came up and just said he breaks his opponents, and yeah, he has. We've seen him break his opponents. I go, guess what? So do I. And everybody was like, "What do you mean? Like, I'm not a knockout puncher. I'm a boxer." I'm like, I break opponents too, but I break them here. We play chess until you realize you can't beat me anymore, and then you stop trying to win. Ruslan stopped trying to win. I broke his will that night. He stopped trying. He stopped trying to win. He kept looking. He was. I know what you're talking about. He literally was looking around like,
yes,
what the hell is this guy still doing here? Why can't I hit him anymore? And why does he keep hitting me? And in the last round, Freddie Roach tells him, "You need a knockout."
Yes.
Because you're losing the fight. Like, everyone watching knows you're losing the fight. In his own corner knows he's losing the fight. Andre Ward was the only person with the big enough balls on the telecast to say, "No, I got Chris winning the fight." Because these guys were all like pro Ruslan. They want the Pacquiao fight, pro HBO guy. Nobody was willing to say that I was winning the fight, except for Andre Ward, who's the actual fighter there. Max Kellerman didn't want to say it. These guys didn't want to say it. So Andre on the air, it was the 9th round. He's like, "I have Chris ahead." I remember Paulie Malignaggi was working for Sky Sports, and he was ringside, and he was yelling at Dan Raphael, like, no, Chris is winning this fight. He's like, if you're not watching this fight, then you think he's losing. If you're watching the fight, he's obviously winning the fight. You know how Paulie is. Yep. So it was an interesting night. But yeah, I mean, once the bell rang, I knew I did enough to win. I just didn't know the judges would give it to me.
Yeah, and that's the thing with your particular sport. I mean, sometimes those judges get in the way, and you just don't know what they come up with. Like, there was a fight, a little off topic, Canelo when he fought Mayweather. One of those, now Mayweather just dominated that whole fight, and one of those judges,
he won 11 and a half rounds out of 12.
Right, and one of the judges scored that as a draw. If you remember that.
Insane.
Yeah, it's just like,
I think it was Patricia German Morning, which is, it's insane.
Absolutely unbelievable. So, to my next question, you've been in fights with some of the biggest names in the sport. Amir Khan. You just said Provatnikov hit harder than anyone.
Errol Spence.
Errol Spence. You're obviously Manny Pacquiao. So in terms of boxing, I think I know the answer to this one, but I'm not the guy. I'm not the pro. I think the answer is Pacquiao, but who's the toughest guy, man? Just when you're in the ring with those names, Manny Pacquiao's a Hall of Famer. Manny
Pacquiao's not just a Hall of Famer. He's a living legend. Manny Pacquiao is on him and Mayweather are like this. I know Mayweather got the win. Honestly, I think Mayweather always beats him. But that's just styles. But in terms of accomplishments and a level, I think they're like this. I think in history they should always be brought up in the same vein. That's how good Manny Pacquiao really is. And yes, I've never been in the ring with someone as good as Manny. Errol Spence, when I fought him, he was at his absolute best. He was tremendous when I fought him, and he was excellent. And it was the weight class was not great for me. I fought Pacquiao up too, but no, Errol was fantastic. But Manny's different. Manny's absolutely different, which is the way that I look at Floyd. I didn't get to get in the ring with Floyd. But also, I predicted that Floyd would beat Manny, and I think he'd beat him every single time. Even though they're supposed to fight in September, I still have Floyd. Stylistically, it just wasn't a good matchup for Manny. But no, Manny is something different, something special. By far the best fighter I've ever fought.
That's awesome. And you in your last fight, that guy was no joke either. Conor Ben, that guy's no joke. Like I don't know if he's undefeated or has one loss right now, but he's very, very good.
Now he lost, but also it comes with stipulations. You know, he failed the drug test multiple times.
Oh, okay.
Two fights after he fought. And I had heard going into the fight, you know, people had said like, I'm like, whatever, whatever. And then, you know, he was supposed to fight Chris Eubank Jr. He's going to jump up 2 weight classes, failed the multiple drug tests leading up to that. And there was this big scandal, didn't fight for 2 years. Honestly, he's good. He's very good. He was young. You know, I was just shy of 38 when I fought him. And he was 25. When I watched him, I was like, yeah, the only reason I was going to take that fight, because I was fighting at 140 and they offered me the fight. And I was like, no, I'm fighting at 140 because the fight was at 47. And so they were like, oh, you know, I've got this fight. And I was like, all right, yeah, I met the guy once and I was like, okay, whatever. I don't really know much about him, you know, fighting over in the UK, and he hadn't really stepped up yet. I was going to be his first real step up fight. So I looked him up and I'm watching. I'm like, I mean, yeah, it's a weight class up, but it's, you know, it's good money. I'm like, I go up to 47, get a win, and then come back down to 40 and go look for a world title. So I didn't really think much of it, and I took the fight, whatever. Obviously, it was way more than I expected, and he was very, very good that night. Closed the distance really well, super explosive. Didn't expect him to punch the way that he did, and obviously he did. And, you know, I got knocked out. I'm not gonna. There's no way to slice it in any other way. But I was like, damn. I was like, first of all, I was like, why am I getting hit with punches like that? You know, I used to be able to make those miss, but at 38, I'm like, all right. But also, I used to be able to take those punches. So I was like, maybe it is time. But regardless, and then 6 months later, he fails, and I'm like,
yeah.
And then he comes back, and he looked kind of ordinary, kind of very ordinary his next 2 fights, and I was just like,
there you go.
All right. Well, whatever. But listen, this is boxing. You can do everything under the sun, and eventually, as long as you're popular, you keep moving forward. So you know, there's
sounds like every other sport.
Yeah, no, actually, no, that's a good point. That's a good point. It sounds like every other sport. So as long as you're popular, but you know, Conor is actually doing great things right now. He's making a ton of money with Zuffa. You know, he's got some big wins. He actually beat Chris Eubank Jr., which is crazy because their fathers fought. Like it's such a legendary thing. And that's the thing. Like, I'm retired now. I don't hold any grudges. It is what it is. Like, I cover the sport as a media member now. I've lived long enough to become media. The people I used to hate, now I'm one of them. So I have to just kind of put it all to the side and be like, listen, Conor's a guy I have to talk about now. Conor Ben is a thing, and he's doing his thing, and you know, but he's got some big stuff coming up, and which is great. But also he's gonna be in this sport for a while.
So I made a comment to you before we went live on the podcast, and you absolutely disagree with me, and that's fine. I love it. And by the way, it wasn't coming from me. It's going from, you know, people asking me, hey, can you get a boxer on, you know, this, that, and the other. But a lot of people felt like boxing is on its way down. So let me ask you this, right? And I know you disagree with that, and we'll get to that. But right now, you know, Canelo isn't really the draw. Or maybe he is, but he's not Canelo anymore, right? Terrence Crawford just beats Canelo. He retires for all intents and purposes. We don't know if we're going to see him back. Like, the face of the sport right now, is it Ryan Garcia? Is it Shakur Stevenson? Like, who is the face of the sport right now, and someone that is going to be the guy? I know Pacquiao and Mayweather talking about fighting in September, and that'll do, you know, pay-per-view stuff. But who's the guy right now that's really going to carry that pay-per-view mantle?
All right, I'm going to counter that right now quickly with a question. Who's the face of the UFC?
I told you, I'm not a UFC guy. Right. I'm not a UFC guy.
People who are listening, who's the face of the UFC? There's never a face of the UFC. The guys roll over and over and over again. All these stand countries are coming in and beating everybody's ass. There is no face of the UFC. Really, what's in trouble is UFC. I don't know, people who are talking about this, and I've been hearing this for years. I used to have people be like, oh, yo, Chris, you used to wrestle, you kickbox. Go make that real money in UFC. And I was like, no, I make the real money. Every UFC guy I know, every MMA fighter I know, talks to me about boxing money because they know I make more money than them, and I always did. So, like,
well, not to interrupt you, didn't Conor McGregor make more money in one fight against Mayweather than he did in his entire career? Is that he made $100
put
million?
Together his entire career put together, and a whole bunch more.
Right,
like we're talking like 200%. So, like, that's the thing. These the public is so misinformed because the media arm of the UFC is so damn good. So the idea that boxing is in a bad place is so wrong. We're getting more of the best fights possible. I would have agreed with someone 5 years ago.
Okay.
Ooh, boxing's really in trouble. Now, we're getting, so the Riyadh Saudi money is coming to boxing. Boxing is blowing up. We have just signed a bunch of boxing has just signed a bunch of new streaming deals. DAZN has multiple promoters now. We're getting multiple fights. Sky Sports is working with MVP. Jake Paul has made a big splash in the sport, doing really, really big things with his promotional company. He signed with ESPN. He signed with Sky Sports. We're seeing multiple organizations go to DAZN, so we're on one streaming platform. They're becoming the global boxing network. You've got Zuffa and Paramount Plus, which is a Dana White thing that's bringing in more fights. We're going to have so much boxing on air streaming all the time. Boxing is better than it's ever been. We're going to get big fights, and guys are getting paid. Paid. You mentioned Conor Benn before. He just signed for $15 million, dude.
Awesome.
$15 million.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What UFC fighters are fighting for $15 million? Name me one.
Listen, like I said, I'm not a UFC guy. I've watched maybe in my life 3 UFC fights. Maybe. Yeah. You know who you'll laugh at this. You know who I know the most from UFC? Ronda Rousey. That's who I know the most.
So Dana always brings up his 2 biggest stars. It's Conor McGregor and Ronda. Those are the only ones that ever touched those levels that 8, 9, 10, $12 million, big, deals outside of the UFC. Other than that, it's a precipitous drop off. So when people are talking, I laugh when people say, like, oh, boxing's falling off, UFC's taking over. Absolutely not. Dana basically jumped ship from UFC, and now is his boxing. He's doing Zuffa. Like that's his baby now. We're doing Sunday Night Boxing with Zuffa, and he's bringing up the next level of talent, and he's involved with all these shows. So, people saying that boxing is dead and UFC is taking over is out of control, because UFC, I think, is in the worst place it's been in a very long time.
You would
know, make a lot of money, sure.
Yeah, you would know better than I would. That's
the
why
fighters
you're on
are revolting. First of all, the fighters are revolting. There's a multi-$100 million lawsuit against the UFC for not monopoly reasons. So,
dang.
Yeah, and when I was saying about UFC and asking, I wasn't asking you. I was asking the people who are listening.
Yeah.
They're the ones who are trying to say this thing, and I'm like, all right, well, tell me who these stars are who are making the same amount of money, because they're all coming out and complaining. O'Malley is one of the stars of the sport, right? He's one of those guys who's really up there and really pushed. He's complaining about boxers and their pay. So
take me through it. So when I'm growing up, right, it's Mike Tyson. I'm too young for that. Those 80s with Sugar Ray and Hearns. Like, I just kind of missed all of that, right? Hagler, I missed all that. I come up with Tyson. Then it seemed like it went right to Oscar De La Hoya, right? Then it seemed like it went right to Floyd Mayweather, and then kind of Canelo, right? So my question, the pay-per-view guy right now, that when he's fighting, you're not gonna miss the fight. Who is that guy?
We don't have that guy yet, and we're in a transitionary period. So David Benavidez is taking a big risk. He's fighting Zurdo Ramirez.
Oh, I can't wait. I wanted to ask you about him, right? Because I'm going to be at that fight. Now, why? All right, so just jump just a little. Why doesn't he fight Bivol in light heavyweight, right? Bivol has 4 titles, right? And Benavidez has 1. He's jumping up for Ramirez. So I thought him and Bivol would be a great fight. Am I wrong?
Yeah, it makes sense. But Bivol hasn't fought since his last fight with Beterbiev.
Okay.
He had back surgery, so that's something that people didn't know.
Okay.
Bivol had back surgery. He did get stripped of one of his titles. Benavidez got tired of waiting around like he always did. He did the same thing in 68. Canelo wouldn't fight Benavidez. Canelo literally ducked Benavidez, wouldn't fight him. So Benavidez goes, you know what? I'm going 175. Goes up to 75, beats a couple really tough guys up there. Then he's waiting for the result of the Bivol and Beterbiev fight. They fight twice. Bivol wins the second one. I think he did it very convincingly. He looked great. But then nothing. And Benavidez just doesn't want to wait. He goes, all right, cool. I'm going to go up to cruiserweight and go fight the second best cruiserweight in the world, Zurdo Ramirez. And, that fight's coming up. He beats him. It's like, Benavidez is the man. Okay. I'll tell you right now, he's already the man. But he has the star power. He talks the talk. He walks the walk. He fights the fights. He can be that kind of guy. But we're just in a transitionary period right now in terms of stars. But in terms of the money being made and the fights that are being made, I don't think so. I think we're in a good time. But we've got Ryan Garcia, who just became a world champion. That's a huge deal. Ryan was a megastar prior to having a belt. Now he's got a belt. The Devin Haney rematch is the biggest fight that could possibly be made in the U.S. They have a backstory. They have a narrative. They have bad blood. They have everything. That fight has to happen as soon as possible, and it's going to be an absolute mega fight, unification fight. Devin is the guy to beat at 147. Ryan just got a belt. They both have belts. They have to fight. That fight is absolutely ridiculously huge.
Isn't Garcia? I just read that he might be fighting Tio Lopez in a couple months. Is there any truth to that? And I don't know how that even happens, because didn't Lopez just get destroyed by Stevenson?
Yeah, he got dominated by Stevenson at 140. Now he's going to go up to 147 and go right into a Ryan Garcia fight, which I don't know who the mandatory challenger would be for Garcia's title, because he is a legitimate world title now. But Tio, being who Tio is, being a former unified champ at 135, being a world champion at 140, probably could jump right into a title fight at 47. And if it was a Ryan, logistically, it would make sense. It would be okay to do that. I would feel bad for the other guys at 147 looking for that title. Guys like Barbosa, guys like Jack Catterall, these guys who want to fight. Curiel, these guys who want to fight Ryan. Everyone wants to fight Ryan because it's money. But yeah, I could see that fight, especially because we're talking about Haney's probably going to fight Rolly Romero in between. So if they both had a fight, but they both got to win, obviously, and Tito's never an easy guy to fight, and unless you're Shakur, and even Rolly's not an easy guy to fight for Haney. So if they were both to win, obviously that would be the fight to make. But yeah, I mean, the winner of that fight, Ryan seems to be maturing.
Yes.
He could be the face of boxing.
Yes.
And we've always said that, right? We've been saying that for a long time. But I think he's still 27 years old. He's a world champion now, a legitimate world champion. He beat a world champion. He didn't get a vacant belt.
And he dominated that fight. Knocked him down early and dominated that whole fight.
Barrios had nothing for him. But Ryan's talking the way he's supposed to talk. He's training the way he's supposed to train. He's fighting the way he's supposed to fight based on his potential. With the way that he's looking, if he can keep that together, he could take over as the face of the sport, no question.
Now, what about Shakur Stevenson? Do you see him moving up maybe and fight, getting into that welterweight and fighting those guys?
He's already moved up. He just moved up to 140, and he went right into the fight with Teofimo Lopez and dominated. I don't want to see him just keep chasing and just trying to wait, jump, because we do that. We do that to guys a lot. We force them to move up. We're doing it tonight anyway right now. The guy's super dominant, and you're like, oh, what about next? Bam Rodriguez, another one. What about the next weight class? Well, you got to get some real competition. Just because you're blowing everybody out in your weight class doesn't mean you have to constantly move up until you get beat. So I don't want to see that with Shakur. Now, I'm not saying that he will, because I think Shakur is as close to unbeatable as anybody in the world today. The problem with Shakur is selling ability. He's going to have to make a transition like a Floyd. Floyd at 30 was a killer.
Yeah.
Knocking guys out. Then he moves up to 35. He struggled.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought he lost to Jose Luis Castillo. Immediate rematch beats him, right? I think he hurt his hand against David. That might have been 132. But 35, he didn't spend a long time there. Goes up to 40, beats Arturo Gatti, becomes a star. Goes up to 47, beats Oscar De La Hoya, becomes a bigger star, mega star. But that's when he changed. He went from pretty boy Floyd to Money Mayweather.
Yep.
When he went to Money, that's when the trash talk started talking. That's when people were like, I need to see this guy lose. And became the heel. So
brilliant marketing strategy.
Brilliant.
Because the guy,
Floyd,
I wanted to watch him. I never wanted to watch him lose, right? But the guys that hated him wanted to watch him lose.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know, you know a zillion times more about this than I do. To me, Floyd Mayweather is by far the best boxer I have ever watched. I don't think there's a close second. Ali, and I miss all of those guys. You did as well, but you know more. He's the best guy I've ever watched fight.
For me, it's Roy.
Wow, Roy Jones,
Roy is the best fighter I've ever seen.
Really?
Roy, shout out to you, Roy. And Roy is prime. Roy is, I don't even know how to explain him. He did things that people can't do. That's the crazy thing about Roy. You couldn't hit him. He's lightning fast. He knocked you out with either hand. He set you up. He boxed you. He clown you. It looked like he was having fun. He'd play basketball the morning of in a world championship fight and then go out and whip you. Now, Roy was otherworldly, virtuoso. Roy at his prime is the best I've ever seen box.
Love it. And he had a situation, and correct me if I'm wrong on the name, but I think it was Montel Griffin, where he takes a disqualification. I believe he hit him when he was down, right? And he gets disqualified, which I believe was his first loss. So then he had to do the rematch. And I don't believe that fight lasted 90 seconds.
One round,
right? He took him apart like, I'm not messing with this. That's how good he was.
So the first fight with Montel Griffin was very good. Very, 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 very good. And he was giving Roy fits in that first fight. And Roy was getting frustrated. And then finally Roy gets him. He puts him down. But as he's down, he clips him with a two-piece. Bang, bang. And knocks Montel out. He goes face down, can't continue, late hit, disqualification, DQ. I hate to say it, but it was deserved. You know, he hit him late. He hit him while he was down.
Fair.
You know, and it wasn't one shot, it was two.
Okay.
And they were hard. And the guy couldn't continue. 100%. Second fight, first round, Roy is all business. No playing around, comes out. I mean, leaping left hooks him across the ring, knocks Montel's head off. First round KO. That Roy
beats everyone.
Bad man.
I love it.
Everyone,
man.
all the time. It doesn't matter. Nobody. Roy at his best is unbeatable.
I was also a Roy Jones Jr. fan. I was actually at the Manny Pacquiao Oscar De La Hoya fight. By the way, are you going to be at the Benavidez fight on May 2nd? You going to be out there?
I'm not. I'm working a show in Maryland.
Dang, I was going to say I'm going to be out there. The football team, my coach, is actually playing out in Las Vegas the Friday before. So I'm like, great, hanging around, going to the Benavidez fight Saturday night. Looking forward to that. But you know, you said, you know, he hits him down. There was another situation with Floyd Mayweather. I believe it was Victor Ortiz. There was a headbutt, and then Mayweather knocked him out right after. I know this is so long ago, but do you think that was a little dirty, or you thought protect yourself at all times and this is the way it goes?
100% protect yourself at all times. Victor was Victor messed that up.
Okay.
You know, first of all, he was headbutting blatantly. Second of all, he's getting reprimanded, point taken. And he just said sorry too many times. Like, yo, put your hands up, bro. It's a fight. Right. Like he completely shut down from actually being a fight. And it was like his third apology. And Floyd is like, all right, bong, bong. Like, what are we doing? Hits him with a 3-2. Hook, right hand, boom. And like, all right. Like, you could see Floyd's face literally change. He's like, yeah, okay. Boom, hug. And he's like, all right, we're going to do this again. He's like, no, bong, bong. Right. 100% Floyd did the right thing.
Awesome. So this sport, to me, again, this is just an outsider's opinion. It has always been about the heavyweight division, right? Like it's always been like the heavyweights and then on down, right? Because we've had some great heavyweights throughout history, right? Right now, I don't know about this heavyweight division. You know, I know it's Usyk is the heavy, but he's 39 and he's only fought like I think 24 or 25 times. You know, Tyson Fury was great coming down. You know, Wilder, Joshua, like these named guys are starting to come down. What do you think about the heavyweight division right now?
I think we're in a really good spot in terms of what the next generation is going to look like. So Alexander Usyk is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. He's the guy to beat. He's unbeatable. He's undefeated. Cruiserweight champion, unified cruiserweight champion, undisputed cruiserweight champion, and beat really good guys. And then moves up to heavyweight, and he beats Anthony Joshua twice. He beats Tyson Fury twice. He beats Daniel Dubois twice. He's beating guys on the way up. He's maintaining his position. He's one of the best heavyweights who's ever lived. I'll tell you that right now. I think he's in the top 5 best heavyweights of all time. When you look at just head-to-head matchups, how are you going to beat that guy? I don't know. So he's as high as 3 for some people, maybe arguably higher, because he's just such a difficult style to deal with, and the guy shows up every single time. So you got the old guard. You got the Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua mix. Those guys were all circling each other, for many, many years. Some of them fought. Tyson fought Wilder 3 times. Anthony didn't get a chance to fight either one of those guys. And those are big fights that are actually still possible, but they're on the back 9, those guys. But the new up and coming crop, you got Moses Atalma, who is being viewed as the next Mike Tyson. He's 20,
really?
Yeah, bro. If you haven't seen this guy,
I have not. I didn't even know he existed. I love it. Go look him up.
He fought last weekend. Fought a guy, Jermaine Franklin, who went 12 with Anthony Joshua. Okay. And Atalma blasted him out in 6 rounds, and dropped him. Highlight reel KO, uppercut like from hell. Blasts this guy out, drops him twice. Guy's never been down, never been stopped. This kid knocks him out in 6 rounds, drops him
Really?
twice. Yeah, no. Moses is an absolute freak of nature. Southpaw, 6'5", 240-ish, athletic, KO puncher, 14-0, 14 KOs. They're trying to move him into. They want him to fight Usyk now.
Really?
He's like 22 years old. It's ridiculous. I think he's 21. He's 21 years old.
Wow.
Wild.
So that's the name to follow.
That's the guy.
Awesome.
Then we got Ricardo Torres, who's a former Olympian. I think he took a silver medal in the Olympics. He's an American. He can really fight. He's good. He's coming up. And then we got a bunch of these European guys. Agit Kaibayel is a German who's undefeated, really good body puncher. You've got Jalolov, who is I don't know if he's Uzbek or Kazakh or one of those Eastern European countries. He's phenomenal as well. Doesn't get a lot of shine. Fabio Wardley is the British world champion, WBO world champion. He got one of the belts that Usyk gave up. Phenomenal athlete, killer puncher, come from behind type kid. He's a he's a monster.
Definitely he fights Dubois, right? I think on May 9th.
Right, correct. Yeah, so him and Dubois, that's a goddamn firefight.
Awesome.
You got two guys who are killer punchers. Both of them have been the distance one time each. They knock you out. That's what they do. They knock you out.
So on the Bet Big Talk Loud podcast, you're saying bet the under in the rounds.
Bet the under. You are not going to hear the bell for the 12th round in that fight. You got two killer punchers. Yeah, no, heavyweights are sneaky good. The problem is the U.S. heavyweights suck. We have Ricardo Torres is the only guy, or Richard Torres, excuse me, is the only American heavyweight that we have. Jared Anderson too, but he kind of let us down. But majority of the talent and the high level guys in the heavyweight division are in Europe, which is why us Americans are like, oh, heavyweights suck. No, they don't. They're just not here.
So a couple more questions here, and then we'll let you go. And thank you so much, Chris Algieri, for spending time with us. I am going to be in Vegas May 2nd. I'm probably going to be getting my ass kicked at craps. So Benavidez, Ramirez, who wins that fight?
Benavidez.
Easy. Just go load up.
Benavidez.
I
think this is no knock on Zerto. Ramirez, I think, is a fantastic fighter. I really like him. I think he's a better cruiserweight than he was at light heavyweight and at 68. I just think they're both really good at the same things, and I think David's better.
Awesome. So
I think he's just a quicker-handed guy. I interviewed David last week, and the dude is just riding high on confidence. He's really feeling himself. He's coming into his own. He made some great points about the weight. He's like, I don't have to cut weight for this. This guy has to cut weight. I don't have to cut weight. He's like, we both throw a lot of. Neither one of them are big punchers. He's like, we both throw a lot of punches. I got fast hands. I got faster feet. And I was like, I couldn't disagree with anything he said. I was thinking the same things. And then he says it, and I was like, yeah, all right. Well, we're on the same page.
Well, I don't know what the odds are of that fight right now because it's a month away. But as soon as we get off this, I'm gonna go check that out.
Pretty sure David's actually the favorite.
And maybe he might be a big favorite. So let me just take you outside your sport real quick. Obviously, it's college basketball. Final Four is this weekend. We have Illinois playing UConn. We have Michigan, Arizona. Any predictions with what you think is going to happen there?
Man, if I had time to follow other sports, that'd be nice.
All right,
that'd be nice. I do boxing 7 days a week, man. And when I'm not doing boxing, I'm sleeping. That's pretty much it.
Fair enough. Former WBO junior welterweight world champion Chris Algieri, thank you so much for spending some time with us. I think the people that were asking me about boxing, they're going to love this interview. And again, thank you. I wish you and your family a happy Easter, and I would love to do this again sometime.
Yeah, man, anytime. This is great. I love talking boxing. Like I said, this is all I do now. So this is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Talking boxing.
Chris Algieri, thank you so much. All right, that's going to wrap up this edition of the Bet Big Talk Loud podcast for Friday, April 3rd. First and foremost, everyone out there, have a happy Easter to celebrate. Hope you guys enjoy the holiday with your friends and family and loved ones. Special thank you to former boxing world champion Chris Algieri. Came on, he gave some great information about the state of boxing right now and was really high on everything that's going on. Free picks here on the show. You heard JR earlier give you the under in the Ottawa, Minnesota NHL game for Saturday afternoon. little bit of an easier play for me in terms of don't go crazy on it, but just some value. Michigan to win the national title, then maybe look to hedge come Monday because the winner of the Michigan-Arizona game is going to be a big favorite no matter who they play on Monday unless a serious injury occurs, and that'll take the number down a little. Short of that, Michigan-Arizona, whoever wins that game is going to be a big favorite on Monday night. Everyone out there, have a great Friday, have a great Easter weekend, and we'll catch you back next week on the Bet Big, Talk Loud podcast.